Man, driver, you stayed on the pad the whole time? Hoo-wee! I bet you don't know the difference between sliding your tandems and your fifth wheel. Good evening, noon, and night. You're watching Cwisp Adventures. As always, I am your host, Cwisp. Welcome to part 1 of 2 of PSD. So part 1 is going to be the overall theme of PSD, what to expect, and then part 2 will be my PSD story. So there are 3 main components. I'm looking at my notes over here. There are 3 main components to the PSD program, right? The first one is whether or not you end up as PAD versus OTR, and if you end up staying on the PAD, you have a local trainer. They may take you on a load here or there, but the majority of your time is spent actually learning the back-end maneuvers to get your CDL. You go OTR, you go and you run a bunch of loads, come back for a couple of days, learn the maneuvers, and then you go and you take your test. That's the main difference between the two. PSD is really about getting your CDL, and I have seen a lot of students misunderstand what the purpose of the PSD program is. The PSD program is not where you're going to learn how to run your hours on your clock. The PSD program is not going to be where you learn how to read an atlas. The PSD program isn't where you're going to learn how to operate the reefer if you're going reefer, right? These are not the things for PSD. PSD is strictly about learning how to back, learning how to correctly drive a commercial motor vehicle on the road safely, and learning how to do pre-trip. Proper man secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, not leaking, filled to manufacturer specifications. Those 3 things, 1, 2, 3, are what you are going to learn during PSD. Those are the only 3 things you need to learn while in PSD. Now let's talk about the part that really bothered the crap out of me with other students. This is a job interview process. Until you have a purple ID, like I have mine now, you are in a very long interview process. This is not high school. This is not the college cafeteria. This is not a frat house. Nobody wants to hear your drama. People often forget that this is a job. And I had a couple of my classmates not get along with their trainer, and this, that, and the other. And a couple of them actually went to the people that we're told to talk to who have that open door policy in the PSD program, and they weren't satisfied with what happened. Well, they really don't care about, oh, well, I just don't like his attitude, or I just don't like this, that, or the other, right? This is a job. Prime is your employer. You're applying for a job, right? Prime cares about the big things, right? Sexual harassment, discrimination under EEO, right? Me and my trainer not getting along is not a valid reason to get another trainer. And a lot of students don't seem to understand that. Now come TNT, when you're stuck in a 6x6 box, I don't even think that's the right size, but when you're crammed into a space smaller than the average American prison cell, that's a different conversation. At that point, you can say, yeah, me and my trainer aren't getting along. But in PSD, that's not the purpose, right? The purpose is get your CDL, get the knowledge from your instructor, and move on. And because PSD is meant to be such a short process, there's, me and my trainer don't get along, or, well, I just don't like the fact that I'm working nights. I heard that one not too long ago. Those aren't the reasons to go and complain. And I just wanted to put that out there because there are a lot of students that come here that think it's high school, that think they can just go through the chain of command and just get a new trainer just because they don't like what color shoes they wear. That's not how that's not how the PSD program works. Now, I do want to be very, very clear. Prime encourages and has an open door policy. If you need to use it, by all means, absolutely use it. But if you go in there and say, I don't like the fact that my trainer wore a turquoise shirt today, they're going to tell you to go back to the pad and go back to your trainer. That's the point. As always, I am your host, Cwisp. This is Quisp's Adventures, and of course, you'll see me next time.